lights are on then, and for 15 minutes the lights go out and away we go. And it's a pretty even start, I think, between the two cars on the front row of the grid as they all stream down to Clervaux Corner for the first time. So it's Lee Deegan on the right hand side of your picture, the white car with the purple stripes of Adam Shepherd just muscling him out of the way really as they go through Clervaux, and a spin for Deegan. Now, was that self-initiated or did someone else touch him round there? I think possibly he did, and he's lost about 3 or 4 places because of that. So Lee Deegan's got work to do, and Adam Shepherd has got a big lead over Mark Barmer in second place.
Yeah, Shepherd was aggressive with Deegan to start with, and then Mark Barmer tried to make the most of that by going up the inside, and there was contact. There's some cars stopping at the back, but let's watch something to Tower Corner first. Luke Rosewell was through the gravel, so he's lost places too. There's 28 and 87, a couple of novice drivers leaning on one another, I think, but hopefully they get through the corner okay.
We've lost Jack Thomas, I think that is, down at the chicane there. You can see his car, I think that's him on the inset. So it looks like he's out of the race, unfortunately, possibly picked up some damage down there in that incident on the first lap.
It was a great start from Jeff Humphries, who got up to third from 6th on the grid, but he's run wide into Sonny there, which has allowed Lee Deegan in the Area Motorsport built car back into third position, so he's gained a couple of places back. It was good car control, wasn't it, from Deegan to hold the big slide he was knocked into, because that could have caused carnage if he didn't, but he did save it. Good car control from Deegan, we've come to expect that, so he's back into third, back ahead of Jeff Humphries and then Luke Rosewell. It's Barmer in front of him as they turn their way into the hairpin. There's some interesting lines coming out of the complex, but one lap is done. Adam Shepherd's got a good lead from the rest.
He does indeed, and really helped into that with that incident down there at the second corner at Hawthorne. So as the leaders make their way down the start and finish straight towards Clervaux for the second time in this 15-minute race. There is number 5. That's Jeff Humphries then. Just behind him is the 47 car of Luke Rosewell. 87 going through shot. That is Jack Lees, the novice driver, but he is 6th in the championship coming into this weekend. And then just behind him is number 35, Aaron Sharp, who's raced Clios and Stock Hatch in the past. So that's the 47 car of Rosewell, sometime Formula Ford 1600 racer. Unsettled under braking there, it seems, was Lee Deegan in third place. He's really pushing on to try and get back on terms with Barmer, and then ultimately Adam Shepherd.
Indeed, there's Aaron Sharp then behind Jack Lees now, who did get ahead of him since they crossed the line, so they've changed positions since the end of lap 1. So Jack Lees coming back through the order after not the best start, 5th down to 8th, now into 7th position ahead of Aaron Sharp. Behind him, you've got Tate Taverner by the looks of it, so he must have got the better of Joe Jessup, and Taverner's there really late on the brakes into Sonny and get him right onto terms with Aaron Sharp. Aaron Sharp, who is 4th in the championship after a 4th and 5th place finishes at Silverstone, so he's a little bit further back today, and that's because the likes of Jeff Humphries and Matt Digby are doing better, and Mark Barmer as well, of course, doing better than they did at Silverstone 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, I guess a bit more time in the car for them has helped them to get right up towards the front end of the field, which is probably where we'd always have expected them to be. There, rounding the hairpin, you can see the 22 car of Tate Taverner. He is rounding out the top 10 in this very competitive field at the moment. We've got 26 cars still circulating. We had 27 when it started. We lost Jack Chapman, but we still have Jack Thomas, I should say, but we still have 26 cars on the grid, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, is the gap going down from first to second? Well, it's 2.06 seconds, so it went out a bit, but Lee Deegan is catching Mark Barmer for second place, but I'm sure Mark Barmer is not going to make it very easy for Lee Deegan to get past. We're watching the 35 car at the moment going through. Heading down towards us now, that's Aaron Sharp just about to turn in. Further back, you can see the 77 car, and that's Mark Dickin.
Indeed, he was 12th at the beginning of the lap. He was 17th in the championship after Silverstone, so perhaps going a bit better here at Croft Circuit in this really competitive Type R Trophy field of drivers. Aaron Sharp in 8th is under pressure from Tate Taverner as they turn their way through Barcroft into Sonny. Taverner was late on the brakes here on the previous lap, but unable to make a move as they battle. Jack Lees is able to get away from them in P7. Out of Sonny they go. Taverner, sorry, yeah, it's Taverner, isn't it? Who dips a wheel out over the grass there that puts him under pressure from Joe Jessup as they turn their way into the complex. But I think they stay in roughly the same order to come up to 1/3 distance in this race. The end of lap 3, the leaders come up across the line as this battle continues into the hairpin.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the lead has come down any. In fact, it's gone out to 2.29 seconds now. And yeah, Lee Deegan in third only made for about a tenth on Mark Barber that time. So it's about half a second, second to third as they go through. I'm just watching that out of the window as we watch Aaron Sharp turn into Clervaux corner. He's a bit further back in 8th position, but you can see what good-looking cars these are as well as they clip the curb there at Clervaux. 85 trying to make a move there on the inside. That is Aaron Thornton. As we watch 53 then. This is the battle for second. Here's Lee Deegan, the Area Motorsport prepared car that he's in, just behind Mark Barmer. And he's been able to make small inroads so far, but the best lap of the race has gone to Adam Shepherd, a 1:36.25 done on that last lap, so he's pulling away, and he will probably enjoy the sight in his mirrors as both Barmer and Deegan get very sideways through Barcroft.
They both got away with it though. I thought Mark Barmer was heading for the scenery, and although it's a very nice day here at Croft, the grass is super wet, so if you go off the track you are in trouble, but Mark Barmer just about avoided that, and he's coming under intense pressure now therefore from Lee Deegan as they turn their way then through the complex, second and third place. Remember, these two made contact on the first lap of the race when Deegan was shuffled sideways, but he's right there re-challenging Barmer then at the end of 4 laps of this Type R Trophy race back by Tegiwa for 2021 as they complete this, so I say, the 4th lap of the race. The leader Adam Shepherd does another best lap of 1:36.11, which is 8 tenths slower than qualifying this morning. Remember what we heard from the previous race, his tyres in these conditions on a grippy track go off very quickly. Okay, these are very different cars to bike sports, but I suspect a similar kind of principle applies.
I suspect so, and I wonder if that might actually play into the hands of Deegan a little bit more, who I reckon might be able to manage that situation a little bit better. Of course, even if he can get past Barmer, there's no guarantee he's going to be able to catch Adam Shepherd though, because Shepherd was quite a bit faster in qualifying than Lee Deegan. He's just improved his best lap time as well to 1:36.11 as we're watching the 47 car on screen. So that's Luke Rosewell, and he at the moment is just behind Jeff Humphries by about 0.6 of a second, something like that, and quite a way away from Jack Lees, but it's a big battle going on behind him.
It is. Matt Digby's losing places here because 2 cars have gone past him. That was all set up at Tower Corner. So it's Aaron Sharp up to 7th, into 8th comes Tate Davenant, who's very sideways, but then turns it into a move up the inside into Sonny. That would have been a great move if he managed it. He didn't though. But Digby's lost another one, hasn't he? Because Joe Jessop's gone through too. So Matt Digby has gone from 7th to 10th.
Certainly has, and that's not the direction of travel that he was hoping for. So coming through, we're just past halfway in terms of the timed element of this race. It's going to be 5 laps completed. I suspect we will get another 5 laps out of it as well as Adam Shepherd goes across the line. But we're watching this battle for the minor places at the moment, and we're going to get a change there because up on the inside goes Joe Jessop to take the place away from Tate Taverner at the hairpin there. So he goes up into 8th position, that will be, as a result of that, I think, as they go up and over the line.
Behind, Matt Digby lost another place because Daniel Chapman went through.
And Matt Digby indeed is into the pit lane as well, so I think he's got problems.
That would make sense, wouldn't it? That big battle then turns its way through into Hawthorne, and Matt Digby was getting a driving standards flag, but he won't see that. But also, perhaps more importantly, was Jack Lee, so that would be for track limits. You would think. Yeah,
Jack's actually on his own at the moment now. He's got sort of 3 seconds in front of him, he's got 3 seconds behind him, so he could probably afford to make sure he keeps his nose clean for the remaining part of this race and not pick up a time penalty. Some body work or some trim trading from Joe Jessop's car, I think, that's in 8th position, I think that was. And the car that's moved up into the top 10 as a result of all of this changes is Daniel Chapman, number 4 now, up into the top 10.
Yeah, he didn't manage that achievement at Silverstone. He's 14th in the championship, so good to see him moving up through the order. He started 12th in this race.
He's one of the drivers who was up at the front last year, but we've got far more competitors on the grid this season and a lot more very tough and experienced competition on the grid. So people like Jack Thomas and Daniel Chapman were right up at the sharp end last year, but finding it tougher going in 2021.
Very close battle heading into the complex there. The slightly damaged car involved in that of Joe Jessop trying to get himself ahead of Aaron Sharp. Couldn't quite manage it on that occasion. Jessop got a couple of 10th place finishes at Silverstone, so he's 10th in the championship, but he's running 8th here behind Mark Dickin, loses a position. That's Travis Coyne who slots up the inside of him, and that gives a chance to Dave Fricker to get involved in the action as they head down towards Clairvaux. There's the 7th place car of Aaron Sharp. Bit of dust settling at Clairvaux, so obviously one of the front runners had a moment. I think that could have been Jeff Humphreys because he's slow coming out of the chicane. So just outside my commentary box window, there's a change for 4th place. Luke Rosewell gets ahead of Jeff Humphreys, and you'll see those 2 cars coming into shot now.
Yeah, there they are at Tower Corner, and the gap back to Jack Lees in 6th position still. Aaron Sharp, number 35, is 7th. And then 8th, just behind, is the number 28 car of Joe Jessup. Tate Taverner behind him. Mark Dickin, who's done plenty of short oval racing in the past. He's getting well and truly stuck in, trying to find a way past Travis Coyne there for 11th place. Good scrap going on, 4 minutes or so to go in this race.
One of the only drivers doing their personal best laps on the most recent lap was Luke Rosewell, so perhaps was able to pressurise Jeff Humphreys into an error. Down at Clairvaux, right on the edge of adhesion there was Travis Coyne, the novice driver, as he turned his way into or through Barcroft and down towards Sunny, just ahead of Dickin. And then Dave Fricker, of course, had a novice cross on the back, despite being a Formula Ford Festival race winner in the past year.
Yeah, that was in the early 2000s. That was in the Kent Engine 1600 division. I remember that. It was in the near dark at Brands Hatch deep into October, as we are watching the 28 car heading through. So this is the fight for 7th and 8th position, and can Joe Jessup get the run on Aaron Sharp that time? I think he has to tuck back in behind him again as they head down the start and finish straight. 3 and a bit minutes to go. Adam Shepherd, by the way, just continuing to extend his lead, and Lee Deegan hasn't really been able to find a, well, he hasn't found a way past Mark Balmer, nor has he particularly looked like doing so, which is why we've been looking at action further down like that, where you've got Mark Dickin now doing battle with Dave Fricker then in the number 8 car.
Indeed, and they're falling behind or away from Travis Coyne because of their battle as they come out of the chicane then on lap 8 of this motor race. We should get, 10 or so laps in perhaps. Adam Shepherd in traffic now, turning his way into Sunny. Doesn't want to get caught out here, but he has got a 4-second lead, so doesn't really need to rush it. But good to see it took a bit longer here at Croft on a more difficult circuit to get into lap traffic, because the newcomers right at the back are getting quicker in. Yeah, they are, and amongst those Chris Stone and Graham Waterhouse as well, in his very first season of car racing. It's coming to it relatively late in life. The back markers now having the battle going past them for 2nd position between Lee Deegan and Mark Balmer in the 53 car just ahead. Now there's one more back marker they're going to get past imminently, which is that of Waterhouse. So they'll probably get him down the straight though. So providing he keeps out of the way en route into Clairvaux, he shouldn't have an impact in this battle for 2nd place. We shall see. Yes, he's backed off and let them slot through into Clairvaux, which of course can be a tricky pass to lap cars. We've got a long race later on to look forward to from another category, which that could be an interesting spot, I suspect, throughout the race. The lead gap did come down to 3.4 seconds because perhaps Shepherd caught those slower cars in a bit more of an awkward spot, but the battle of 2nd continues. They're 6 seconds ahead of Luke Rosewell and Jeff Humphreys, who continue to run 4th and 5th. There's a car off in the gravel next to Tate Taverner, who's reached the tyre wall, it looks like, into Clairvaux. Is it just the one car off? I think it is. He was over a second ahead of the cars behind me. He was right on the tail of Aaron Sharp and Joe Jessup, so perhaps he was trying to move that didn't cut him off. Yeah, so that's Tate Taverner, who was in 9th position then, out of the race. He's out of the car. More importantly, he's okay. Hopefully the car is fixable for the final race of the day. Here's the battle for 2nd and 3rd. It's still Mark Balmer ahead. There's less than a minute to go on the timing screen now, so there'll be one more lap to go at the end of this one, with Adam Shepherd about to come into the hairpin for the penultimate time to start the final lap. So it will be a 10-lap race then for the Type R Trophy. Are we going to see a last lap challenge from Lee Deegan, as you said? We're going to go early checkered flag because of the incident. Yeah, so check flag is made ready then, and Adam Shepherd takes it, and he gets the victory.
Yeah, thanks Ian. Adam Shepherd with me now. Adam, congratulations. There's your winner's garland. I tell you what, there's never an easy race victory in this class, but once you got that gap on the first lap, you made it look almost easy.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. It was we knew we had the pace from qualifying and testing to drive away if we got a gap. So you just get through the first couple of corners clean and get my head down and try not to make too many mistakes. So yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that first corner was really important. Talk us through it from your perspective, because you and Lee were door to door into turn one, and then because you held on, he got caught up in the battles behind.
Yeah, we were side by side, and we were both given no room other than the last inch that we had to. So yeah, it was just get through the first corner safely. I think someone tagged him on the rear, didn't they, through the second corner. So that gave me a little bit of breathing room, and then from there it was just put some fast laps in and pull away.
Very warm out there. I've been asking everyone about this today because tyre management's always key. It's only a 15-minute race. Were you feeling the tyre wear?
I was, to be honest. I was getting lots of wheel spin. I started struggling taking second gear as well, which is a worry. So it was, once I had the gap, it was just trying to cruise it home and not be too hard on the car, because I'm not very mechanically sympathetic normally. So yeah.
Is that something that the team are going to look at now before race 2?
Yeah, we'll have to try and look what it is. It was definitely losing me time, and something was kind of jamming up. So we'll have a look at that and hopefully fix it for the next race.
Well, all things considered, not a bad performance then, Adam. Well done.
Yes, cheers, thank you.
Adam Shepherd then, even with some slight issues there towards the end, dominates our first Tegiwa Type R trophy race of the day. We're heading into a lunch break now, Ian and Josh, but plenty more racing still to come.